little smile on his face as soon as he realized
I can't wait.
that he's now up against that deck. Oh, not yet though. That's one set, two set. Oh, Jack is thinking, what is going on here? 3 set cards. No Tearlaments cards whatsoever this far. But of course, there is plenty of trap cards in this deck. So as we said, it's a Paleozoic Tearlaments deck. And therefore, setting cards, certainly not the worst start for a deck.
He won the World Championship together with Josh, and he is well known for the Paleozoic strategy.
True.
So I think that Jack Rory will also know a thing or two about that. Normal summons Ice now, which is a phenomenal start for the Ryzeal deck. The first Ryzeal deck that I think we are seeing as a trio for this day.
There is now Havnis on the sword though, not immediately doing it on the ice. Ryzeal ashing the Havnis, and now Jack Rory, he didn't even blink when he saw that Tearlaments Havnis. How can he be so unshocked about seeing Tearlaments Havnis?
He's locked in.
That's so funny.
Jack Rory is just absolutely locked in at this point. He also has
but now he cannot use Ash Blossom and Joy Spring on the Needlebug Nest anymore. Top 5 cards from the deck to the graveyard. There is a Rhino Heart.
No.
What else do we get? Oh,
Rhino Heart.
They're all mixed up.
Rhino Heart wouldn't have been as good at all with the Havnis on the field, by the way, because now you have a great discard for the Rhino Heart.
And there is also the Tearlaments Kashtira. Oliver is definitely hitting some cards here. What is that going to lead to? And that's honestly, Tearlaments was always known to be a big combo deck that can set up good fields, but the Paleo variant of it is way more interactive because you use your trap cards to then play on your opponent's turn, and therefore it's not uncommon to see the deck having a really slow start and only setting 3 cards and passing it over. And as we can see, this one trap card now may be enabling so many things at once.
And it's very relevant that Meta Noise was sent to the Graven with Tearlaments Kashtira because it can recycle and take it back to the hand.
That's honestly the best card to hit with it. Now we are going to summon out the Rhino Heart, discard Havnis,
Wow,
of course.
that's so good.
We're going to milk her. Oh no, Backjack and Shire!
What is happening? The Tearlaments have never been gone. We are going strong here. Those 2 hits were amazing.
He is back. Jack can't believe it.
Yep, he is flabbergasted by that, and Oliver is living the life right now. And he's so happy that Jack decided to use Ash Blossom Joy Spring on the Havnis there. Which honestly is kind of an interesting decision anyways, right? When you see 3 set cards and your opponent is activating a Havnis into you, I feel like there's plenty of cards that they could have set which would also be a valid target for the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring.
He plays also around Salik, which is very
That's a good point, I agree, yeah, that's actually a valid point.
Or Torrential Tribute.
Or Torrential Tribute,
Just saying.
Alright, so what are we getting here? That must be the effect of Rhino Heart resolving now.
Oliver has shuffled a little too well, I suppose.
Yeah, it's all upside down in there. But what are we going to send? Okay, so now the Rhino Heart, fair enough. And that is going to bring another copy of Tearlaments Kashtira into the graveyard. And now Jack Rory starts to get a little skeptical. He's like, oh no, I did not expect that. What have I signed up for here?
This might be Tearlaments.
This might indeed be Tearlaments.
This might be my signature deck. Is this the moment where I lose to my most beloved cards?
Oh, and there is Kaleido Heart.
Kaleido Heart is not a card that can necessarily stop a lot of Ryzeal shenanigans.
And look at that,
right?
Backjack has revealed 3 trap cards. Sometimes you miss with the Backjack. Sometimes you actually hit Tearlaments cards, which you can just send to the graveyard, which then trigger. But sometimes you just get some very powerful trap cards, which I think now is the case.
And now he sent the Tearlaments Kashtira, and now he pointed to it again as if he wanted to activate it again, but you have already milled the Backjack. Is that not enough for 1 Tearlaments Kashtira in this situation?
Okay.
Of course, you can't activate it twice, but there is still talents in hand for Jack Rory as well, so there is... I would never ever count him out of this one.
Okay, so the thing though is, Jack Rory is bringing the pure Ryzeal strategy, and I think that one is a lot more like clear in its game plan. It's like, it doesn't have many different routes to go for because we're just clearly locking ourselves very early on into the rank 4s, and therefore we don't have like a backup route to go into. It's very good because it's kind of ignoring these deals and it's like playing around certain things in the meta game. It does struggle in terms of ceiling though. Like, you do only get to a certain point, and past that there is nothing you can go after. So I'm wondering, with those interactions that Oliver is already putting up, how far Jack Rory could even go here. Okay, up, that's X'd. All right, sending Eclipse Twins to the graveyard.
The thing is just the ceiling of the Ryzeal pure deck is sometimes just enough cross and detonator is incredible with the recursion that you also have. Now adding Node to the hand, one of my favorite Ryzeal
And
cards.
it's a good meta call to play around bestials that are very popular this weekend.
That's
This is also why Tearlaments is a little bit surprising to me.
Yep, and also additionally to that, another card that's so popular is Abyss Dweller. We already have 2 level 4 monsters on the field, so Jack Rory now would just be completely open to go into that Abyss Dweller, and that card alone would be so scary because it's a quick effect, so it can respond to opponent's cards. So just establishing an Abyss Dweller here would be a nightmare for Oliver because he would have to chain the backjack and everything, but we do go for Druid Drive.
If you go for the Dweller now, you basically have no
Salik?
play.
Yes, it is Salik.
Oh, but
big.
Book of Eclipse!
Wait, he just did it on the activation, on the activation, because on summon this would have been. Oh, Dynamiscus is going to be chained
Dynamiscus
as well.
too, though. Oliver has all the answers. Last set card revealed. And Jack Rory allows it.
What a dream hand!
And he's sending transaction rollback! This is not real! Oliver's having all the answers.
This is the hand.
Indeed it is. Okay, so now the Book of Eclipse resolved, and the Salik does not have to send anything to the graveyard anymore afterwards. Yep. Fair enough.
Dynamiscus also just took away the targets.
And also we should note the synergy between Paleo and Tier, that the Paleo traps Dynamiscus sends as an effect, not as a cost. So it triggers the Tiers.
And
That's
they're
very
Aqua.
true.
But now, I think that Jack Rory... Wait, does he actually have a Ryzeal still in graveyard? Can he just summon out, or does he need an Exceeds monster for Node? Wait.
Node is very specific in what it needs, you're right, but I think he does need an Exceed monster actually, right?
I think so too.
And he does have Eclipse Twins in the graveyard, therefore he should be good to go as long as we remember Node Ryzeal correctly.
Wait, he
and
has
yes.
an Exceeds monster in the graveyard, of
Yeah,
course.
he does
the
have Eclipse Twins, exactly.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think that he might just be good to go here.
We have to see. Let's not forget, there's still backjack, there's still transaction rollback, so Oliver still is very well equipped here as well. So
Very good point, yeah.
I don't necessarily know whether this is over from Oliver's side yet, but Jack Rory, what's next here? We could possibly just use the talents now to look into the hand, maybe even take over a monster, but no, we do just go for Node Ryzeal.
The problem with pure Ryzeal and talents is that taking monsters is, except for in the mirror match, not good.
I mean, you can send it off of Node Ryzeal, which is okay.
Yep.
But I guess we're getting past that point now soon.
But I mean, there's also nothing to send with so far, so not really the most ideal scenario. Now Node is going to activate here. I think he wanted to send Metaltronus from hand. If you activate it, but first
we're
talents.
activating the talents first, of course. The Node is not an on-summon, and we're just drawing cards. Looking into a hand of a Paleo deck doesn't seem necessarily exciting, so just getting more and more cards, I can get behind that logic, honestly.
Jack is playing a deck that I really, really like for this event, which is a deck heavily board breaking. Node activated, discarding Metaltronus. That card does nothing for us. And Oliver is already grabbing the graveyard. It's like, oh, you want to summon something? I have something. Let me tell you something. I have something.
A lot of somethings there.
Yes, something is going to happen. I can tell you that.
I am agreeing, but yeah, we see that not for the first time. I think we all agreed on Metaltronus being a super good meta tech card right now that a lot of people are relying on, but it's not the first time we're seeing it in this weekend and today.
Wow!
Daruma Karma Cannon is the top card! Alright, that's a card worth getting there.
Yep.
Setting those 2 Ryzeal monsters face down and chaining a Paleo even. He's like, not so quick, I want another monster to the field.
Jack Rory, if you turn your back to Tearlaments, Karma is gonna get you.
Oh yeah, it does indeed. I still remember, I think we featured him at YCS Utrecht at some point, round 1, where he was playing Tearlaments, but now he has betrayed his love. He has betrayed the Tearlaments deck, and he's with the Ryzeals, treating them well so far with the 5-0 record, but here, against the Tearlaments deck, it is looking rough, and that looked like a pass to me, possibly.
And to be honest, Salik, with the fusion of Tier, it's very strong with Kaleido Heart.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's
of
2
course,
draws.
he's going to draw
2 draws with the Book of Eclipse now. And when you're giving a trap card draws, that's never a good idea. Drawing to 4 cards in hand now for Oliver. What a life.
Oh no, he even picked up Pearl Rhino.
Oh my, the
Oliver.
prime evil Pearl Rhino. And Jack Rory.
Stop it. Jack is already on the floor.
Jack cannot like how this one is developing. The one-off Primeval Planet Pearl Rhino is resolving by the looks of it.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Also, I love how Oliver, I think Popular was a variant of the Tearlaments deck with the Fiendsmith cards, but Oliver just said, no, I don't need that. I will just go a way more minimalistic, trap-orientated approach with the Paleo monsters, and now normal summon ultimate rare Kaleido Heart. Oh no, Rhino Heart, of course. And yeah, we all remember that moment. Jack Rory Steenkammer at the World Championship, right-clicking on Rhino Heart, basically just passing without an effect. But here, he sees his opponent doing it better, announcing the effect of Rhino Heart and resolving its effect to send Shivan to the graveyard.
Yep. Can't right-click.
Yeah, tough one to do,
with
tough one
cards.
to do indeed. I mean, you could still like say, hey, I don't want to use the effect. That's a lot tougher to do though, I would say.
It's a lot tougher to do on accident, yeah.
Okay, and now we can even use the second effect of Pearl Rhino, destroying one of the set Ryzeal monsters that Jack Rory
Could
has.
have also used Kaleido Heart earlier
That's true.
to send something. Missed out on that one, but at this point, I think that Oliver is going to need to do a lot to not win this game. And there's this thing, I like half of the approach that Oliver is taking with the deck as a meta call, saying trap-heavy decks are probably the way to go if everyone is playing Slayer, Metal Tronus, and stuff like that, heavy interruption, effect veiler, etc. But I mean, there's also a lot of bestials around, and playing Tearlaments into those is not... Oh, especially if you're just backing this up with trap cards. If you're starting your turn with a Rhino Heart and you get bestial, there's
You
probably
cannot
nothing
bestial
that
though,
will-
totally awesome.
that is
Very true.
That is true.
Very true.
Just the water monsters again.
I mean, we all thought it's the weekend of rank 4s, but I saw that we have a bunch of mermaids doing well, and
I mean,
now
Bahamut
also
Shark is
this.
also a rank 4.
It is a rank 4 to be fair, but the more important card is definitely the rank 2 here in that case, being the Totally Awesome. That card has won YCSs before, so maybe it's
Debatable.
time for the Totally Awesome again.
Debatable, Basti.
I don't know about that. Okay, so we do link
I
off.
thought you were a shark guy.
I am, but
Oh,
I'm summoning Totally Awesome of that.
Sprite Sprint. Now Samir Bashar is listening up as well.
And
The sprites are back.
Denomiskos doesn't get banished because it was set and then flip face up again.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's true. Sending Merly to the
Merly.
graveyard. What have we even fusions? That's
Dragostapelia?
Dragostapelia, yeah.
Stapelia, yeah.
Because there is
Oh,
no
yeah,
more
you-
Crit Colors we could use.
You have space in the extra deck, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
A very interesting and cool thing about this, I mean, it's not that interesting. In the beginning, when Kid Colors was forbidden, people were trying to use King of the Swamp to still go into the Rule Colors.
Yeah.
But nowadays, for example, here Oliver is showing us you don't need that anymore. You just cut the Rule Colors entirely, cut the King of the Swamp because it's not a great card to draw, and just do a whole lot of things, but a whole lot...
Big success in the TCG, right?
He does, I think, have one YCS top so far over in Canada, actually. But here in Europe, I cannot recall him actually getting that success yet. So he's really probably happy about this 5-0 start so far, but he has to now follow it up. And right now, it's not looking great for him.
I mean, he's more of a Worlds guy, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Just stepping up when you need to.
X, by the way, is the best opener in the pure build of Ryzeal.
Why is that?
Because Ice doesn't get you with the sword where X alone can get you, and you can play very well under hand wraps since you don't use your normal summon yet.
Okay, that's fair. That's reasonable. We go into duo drive early on, and we do have the chance to resolve this. To be fair,
it's a trap deck, yeah.
yeah, you're not expecting very many interruptions here from Oliver's side. I think that's pretty legit.
He really didn't expect any. He was barely waiting at all. It's just like, maybe his opponent just told him, hey, go off.
You know what's a really,
off.
really interesting card that I'm kind of expecting maybe to come in from Oliver here in this game or the next game then? Do you remember Miskeep of the Gnomes? That was a card you played against Sprite. And nowadays Sprite is essentially Ryzeal, and they always want to go for rank 4s, and that's the only thing they can do. Guess what? If you just adjust their levels, they don't really have a good time at all anymore, to be honest.
I mean, but it's just like the ones currently on the field, right? When with Mischief of the Gnomes is activated. I think this is why many players dropped the card back then as well, because if your opponent just does link plays and you...
It's actually the ones in the hand, which is, I think, way more fitting, way better, even if they get summoned afterwards.
Yeah, people have dropped it because Fitchman Ryzeal is very popular right now, but against the pure build, it can make a lot of damage.
I think so too. I think that could definitely be a card we may see here. We see the detonator here early on for Jack Rory, and there's gotta be an Abyss Dweller, and it is an Abyss Dweller in fact. And so I think Jack Rory is feeling pretty alright with that opener here against Oliver. Both cards having very reasonable usage against the Paleo Tearlaments strategy, but that's all he needs, and he's going to pass it over to to Oliver here in this case.
Oliver's asking if anything is going to happen before the main phase, and Jack Rory was like, yep, I have something for you, and that is Abyss Dweller completely shutting down the Tearlaments strategy. He would know best. He has piloted this deck to a world champion title before.
Absolutely. So, Oliver, what you got here? Anything to answer about Abyss Dweller?
Got a Mudora, I think, which is not necessarily helping. Right?
We gotta see. I don't even know whether it's Mudora, to be honest.
Very sure.
Okay. And...
Oh, look at that, Mudora.
That is Mudora. Wow, you have...
Who could tell?
You
Eagle
have
eyes.
beautiful eyes.
Eagle eyes. Oh,
and also pretty good work.
Thank you so much, darling.
Okay, oh, that looks like a Typhon to me, but honestly, Typhon alone is taking care of the detonator here, if not for the Ryzeal cross, of course, though.
Yeah, that card is causing some problems. You can run over the Abyss Dweller here.
That's pretty good, to be honest, though.
That's good, yeah.
It's a shard, for sure.
Yeah, and the Abyss Dweller is gone, and I mean, to be fair, that's all that Oliver really needs, because in Game 1 we saw how this deck tries to play on the opponent's turn rather than on the own turn, and therefore he might just be completely fine with getting rid of the Dweller here.
Yeah, but now you have the Eclipse Twins summon back Dweller.
Oh, yeah, I was joking, actually. Recycling the Dweller. There he is again, of course.
JK.
There he is. That cannot be great for Oliver. Honestly, at moments, you probably just don't activate the Typhon, right? What was the reason to activate Typhon there? You actually just gifted your opponent that Dweller by activating Typhon's effect there.
Very good point.
That was a little misstep there on Oliver's end. But I'm sure he can recover with those two set cards there.
So what else do we
I
have
think it's
here?
an Ultimate Slayer.
Yeah, this one is actually having some applications here. So what do we send to the graveyard? You have so much stuff.
Oh, that's a funny one.
The at Ignister.
The Light Dragon. The Light Dragon at Ignister is a pretty funny one to use here. And I mean, if a card you control, a monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you could detach materials from itself, but only when it is on the field.
Targeting detonator.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, Dynamiscus. Chains the Dweller to it.
As we said before, Dynamiscus sends the card as an effect to the graveyard, so if a Havnis or a Siren will go send to the graveyard, it can trigger.
That's very true. Is there any possible... Actually, when did we... Oh no, the Mudora couldn't change anything about the Dweller coming back because the Dweller was already resolved, of course, that turn. Otherwise, it would have been good to interact with the good old Eclipse Twins. But now, we're just going to get rid of 3 Ryzeal cards in the graveyard with the Mudora, probably trying to prevent the Ryzeal cross from shuffling back more cards and giving Jack Rory more cards overall. What can we send here? We're sending Transactional, which would be so good, honestly. Yeah. But now with the Dweller resolving, that is not only shutting down monster effects, but card effects in general in there.
But I mean, now we have just banished the Ryzeal Detonator, and now we have 2 more cards in the graveyard as well. So Cross is live. Talents is going to be activated as well. Looking good for Jack Rory now. There is no... Oh, Tearlaments Kashtira is being chained to that, and this card would have to banish from hand.
Yeah, meaning there is nothing to be taken from Jack Rory's Staincomer anymore. There we go, getting rid of it. Bring out the Tearlaments Kashtira. And I mean, yeah, we can't trigger anything, but we may as well get some resources into the graveyard here. Maybe a couple of Paleos. Meta Noise, Merly. Oh, those mills would be so good if not for the Abyss Dweller, though.
Oliver is milling good today. That is insane. But, I mean, the thing is, Jack is super fine with that. There's nothing that has triggered now, and he's like, hey, I wanted to get rid of 1 card. I'm pretty sure it's not any hand interaction, but now I've basically gotten rid of 2 cards.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that he should let Jack to choose between Tear Kashtira or Rain of Hearts and keep the other as a resource.
Possibly, yeah. I think you guys are right. But Oliver just, of course, with that slow of a deck, this deck has to be called slow because it really is just not the fastest out there. You gotta make some quick decisions, I think, and Oliver just wanted to do that.
The disrespect.
It's not, no, a slow deck is not necessarily a bad deck, as we can clearly see here.
But I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the disrespect that he sent the Exile
against the I see.
That's what I meant.
Fair enough. Oh,
wow.
Okay. Now there's some more reasoning to it, right? Now you gotta understand why we brought that monster to the fields. But
doesn't matter.
Jack Rory just keeps on summoning level 4 monsters, and Oliver will have to have an eye on the clock. We have more than 20 minutes still left. Honestly, that's super unusual for this deck, because when I've played against Tearlaments Paleo in the past, usually game 1s were likely to take on like 30, 40, sometimes even 45 minutes. I've played against this deck and we only got to finish a single game, essentially. But we already are on the edge of finishing the second one here.
It's looking good for Jack Rory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here with you guys. This is looking very, very solid here. He's probably playing multiple duo drives as well in this.
And with two carries, he can easily make game here.
Yep. Very good point. Just to
Yeah,
get
so
this detonator.
he's not playing multiple duo drives, but
Already.
I don't think he needs another one here, to be honest.
You can always shuffle it back anyways.
Yeah, that's true. I think in this version of the deck, in the pure Ryzeal version, you want to make sure to include 2 Eclipse Wyverns, because you do actually summon this card from time to time. And what did I say?
Wyvern.
Eclipse Wyvern, also a cool card though, but
Yeah,
Eclipse
strengths.
Twins, of course, is the one that I mean, yeah. And you can, I think you need 2 of them in the extra deck, yeah. And that is what Jack Rory has decided on.
That's also a bonfire. I'm not sure if it adds a lot to the situation right now, but Jack Rory and we're discussing a little bit. It's we can see maybe later on what happened, but now bonfire is going to resolve. I think this is just follow up. You haven't used the Ice Ryzeal effect to special summon it.
There's
Also,
Ice
maybe
Ryzeal
that
in the
is
hand.
going to be enough damage then with that. I think if you just summon Ice Ryzeal out now and send the set card.
Looks like a lot to
just-
me.
yeah.
Sending Called by the Grave. That's a lot of attack
Pew,
points.
pew.
And that is the game. 1-1 scored. Pace here, first of all, in this third game, as he's the one going first. And he does have Tearlaments Scream, which is a pretty good card. If you also have the Rhino, and I think I see the Rhino, that's going to be a rather quick start this time around. He started slow in game 1, and it was enough. And this time he starts quick instead. And he's going to use Chainlink 1 Scream, Chainlink to Rhino Heart. Oh, look, we're sending a card to even send more cards to the graveyard. I love this. This is Tearlaments at its prime.
Yeah, we are used to on the opposite Chainlink.
Oh, and there it is! I already said it earlier. This card may come in, and it is Miskeef of the Gnomes.
And it hits Marella. I mean, basically every card does something when you send it to the graveyard in this deck. And Rice,
I mean, that's
to
the point.
full height. Yeah, very, very good one. So, Rhino Heart is just middle 5 now. It's the new Kid Colors, I suppose.
Yeah, and Rise to Full Height, when you are in game 3, and you're kind of also, of course, with this deck, always looking at the timer a little bit, is very good to protect yourself. But Oliver just immediately goes in the draw phase for Miskeef of the Gnomes and its graveyard effect. So Jack Rory, Staincomer, all of a sudden, is wishing he would be playing rank 3s in his extra deck, because he's not going to be able to summon any rank 4s anymore.
The thing is, if you start Ice, you special summon a level 4 from the deck, that adds you another level 4 that isn't affected by Mischief of the Gnomes anymore. So Bonfire is even better now, because now you get to add the Ice and it's going to be a level 4, right?
The thing though is, the way Miskeef of the Gnomes is written, it says
Every card that comes from
reduce the
hand.
levels of all monsters in each player's hand by 1. I don't even, like, I think the ones in the hand, even if they are added after the resolve of Miskeef of the Gnomes, may be adjusting their levels.
Then it would be forever.
For the rest of the turn, yeah.
In the graveyard? Does it set it for the rest of the turn?
It's an old card, but we will find out, I'm sure. We will find out. It's definitely already against cards that were in his hand already. Very, very impactful and powerful. So how can Jack Rory counter this turn? Honestly, I was a bit surprised that Oliver immediately went for it, because Jack Rory against that slow over deck may have the advantage of time, just not playing too much this turn, but he does agree with you, immediately going for the Ice Ryzeal. And this monster that he's about to summon will definitely be a level 4.
Yep, Sword is coming in.
Okay, Oliver thinking about whether to interact with that.
And now we're also going to see how Mischief of the Gnomes work. We activate Scream, of course, first.
He kept screaming for the summon of Sword.
Oh, Meta Noise,
Backcheck
Backcheck,
and
and Lost Twin. This man does not miss. What are those cards? What are those cards that he gets consistently there off of the top of his deck?
They're trap cards.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even notice. But Backcheck was a monster, but it's going to be a trap card eventually, of course.
And there are a lot of Chainlinks right now.
Oh, yeah. Searching for
Meta Noise hits
Ryzeal.
the Tearlaments Kashtira as well. That has another target in the graveyard, which is yet another Tearlaments Kashtira. It's looking good, and there are none of these side deck cards for Jack Rory so far.
Indeed. I saw in his deck there was Lightning Storm, there was Feather Duster. Of course, you side those cards in against this deck, but he did not draw them.
He has card draw in hand. And now we have seen... Have we seen monster effects activated? I think Backcheck was activated, no?
Did he activate the Backcheck? I didn't even see it.
I mean,
Maybe it's fine. Yeah, maybe it's fine to play around Talent Sphere, honestly, and just there's so many trap cards in your deck. Just use it in the end phase and see what you get.
And you said
Can't
it
be
earlier.
too bad.
If it's not a trap card, you're gonna fusion summon.
Probably, yeah. I agree. And I don't think he used the Backcheck here.
And he has the info of talent from game 2, so it's probably the correct
Okay,
play.
look at that. We do bring out the extra Ryzeal, sending the Star Leech. I think it's Paladinamo, or how's it called?
No, Paladinamo was a.
Oh, that's the other one,
2000
right?
tech one. This is the Photon Dragon.
It's Photon Blast Dragon, of course. They look very similar, though. Don't blame me. I think Paladinamo is not even the rank 4, right?
It is. It is.
Oh, it is as well. Oh, there, he activated it, though.
All right.
Triple Tactic Talons can be activated.
I'm telling you, this is a draw. Or is he trying to take the Rhino Heart because it's a level 4?
That would be crazy. You're right. That has to be the case.
Hilarious.
Give me your level 4. I need it. I need it
I need to
desperately.
play Tearlaments.
Yes,
then,
he
there
is
it
taking
is.
the level 4. There we got it. 2 level 4s on the field now, finally, for Jack Rory and his rank 4 deck.
Quantlethink has a Rhino Heart on his field in 2025.
Finally, yeah. Oh. Okay, now on the resolve, though, we do go for the Tearlaments Kashtira, banishing Matter Noise. And what are we going to get here? He's a master of milling, and we do get some more good cards there. We go Scream, Shiren, and another Tearlaments Kashtira. This is massive, honestly.
I think at this point, Oliver gives the info that has Halik. That's why he probably summoned Tier Castira.
Probably, yeah. I mean, also, if you just hit a way to get into the Kaleido Heart, getting rid of one of those level, or like the only level 4 monster next to the Rhino Heart is pretty valuable too. So,
Basti, how many cards does he have in his deck that can trigger upon being sent to the graveyard
All
or
of
do
them.
something?
all of them. I mean, you saw it clearly. You saw it clearly every single time. All of them.
The only miss is Needlebug Nest, right? And Daruma Karma Cannon.
Karma Cannon as well, but besides that, there's not that many. Perla Rhino, there's dangers in his deck as well, which aren't particularly amazing either. I think besides that,
Dangers are fusion material.
yeah, I guess.
And I think it looks like he can't activate the Shiren. And we're going to go into
Dual Drive.
Dual Drive. And it looks like you can't use the X as a level 4. Your Lost Wind is being activated. It's such a slow way of playing the game, and I love it so much.
Absolutely. This is really old school Yu-Gi-Oh! This is
So when an extra deck monster is summoned, Lost Wind can reset itself.
Yeah. But the next time it's being activated, it gets banished instead of going to the graveyard. And it's a card that negates something that it targets forever. When a special summoned monster activates the effect, you can negate it and half the attack.
That is true.
Or
so
you just target a special summoned monster and negate it. Doesn't have to activate.
we gotta agree, this Dual Drive is never resolving, right? Oh, Needlebug's Nest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready for a number 5.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
And so is Jack Rory.
Yeah. Oh, and Marella is being chained here.
Oh my.
Right.
One.
Transaction rollback is
rollback,
crazy. Sonic is crazy.
Morella, Rhino
boy.
Heart, and another one of them.
Do we have another Tearlament card in hand so we can activate the Tearlament's Rhino Heart? Because then this is a party.
He added Salik before.
Yeah,
with
it's
Scream.
Salik before.
True. And then it's just Kaleido Heart, right? And Kaleido Heart just takes care of the Dual Drive. This is looking amazing for Oliver right now.
How fun is that tag?
Endless fun.
Endless
all day.
fun, yeah.
I mean, look at Oliver. He's living the life. He's sitting in the feature match area, 5-0 here at YCS Birmingham. Couldn't be any better, right? So we are going to... Okay, we added back Shiren, I believe. Which is even better because we can now... Oh, wait, Halfness. Yeah, we can discard the Halfness now, which is nice because it immediately gives us all the setup we need for the Kaleido Heart by only using monsters in the graveyard, which is really nice. Okay, Halfness.
Oh, it doesn't want to activate Rhino Heart, just activates the Halfness from the graveyard. And of course we're sending back... Oh, we even keep the Rhino Heart on the field here. Keep in mind later on that might be banished. Dual Drive is being put back into the extra deck. And now, I mean, trap decks are supposed to be slow, but this setup is massive on the side of Oliver. This alone is almost game. I think this is about 7,000 damage on the field.
Call that slow.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, to be fair, his start here in Game 3 was so much better than in Game 1. In Game 1, he started by setting 3 cards, and still it was enough. But this time around, he got to start his plays already on the opening turn, and then he could back it up with even the Mischief of the Gnomes already in the graveyard.
Oh,
Rise to full height on the Kaleido Heart, so no attacks coming through here from Jack Rory Steenkammer, if he does not want to attack into the Kaleido Heart, of course.
He is not giving him anything. A card set for Jack Rory. We saw that it was Book of Eclipse, a card that has not fulfilled its purpose in Game 1 as well, where it just gave 2 draws. Backjack is being activated. Now, what's the last card here? Oh, it is the Black Goat Last, adding insult to injury here.
I mean, to be fair, Jack Rory does not have any trap cards in the graveyard at the moment. So on the field, the Black Goat Loves does not love that much right now. But Oliver, what's the set card here? Oh, he's reading his Tearlaments Crime. Okay, so that Book of Eclipse is not going to stop him, I'm pretty sure. What a
Also,
setup for
rollback
him.
is in the graveyard with Needleback Nest also.
But for Crime, do you need a monster in hand to discard?
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Because he only
Okay.
has Sully and an unknown card.
Wait. Oh, wait, no. That Black Gold Loves is able to activate its effect because I was mistaking it for Transaction Rollback. Transaction
absolutely,
Rollback
yeah.
needs for the on-field effect a trap card in the opponent's graveyard, but we can just use the effect of that Black Gold Loves, call the
it's
card
happening,
name, and
it's
then...
happening. Are we going to see Animal Okaris, or is it going to be totally awesome?
Which
Probably
one is it
totally
going
awesome.
to be?
Oh, it couldn't be Animal
Ah,
Okaris. It's going to be
totally awesome again.
With Paleo summoned.
Indeed, we saw it on the Bahamut Shark way, but now we also see it on the classic Paleo way. Vivid Tail is
Tail.
being sent to the graveyard. There's the last card too. Things are looking so good right now for Oliver. What next though? Attack position, Kaleido. That's scary. We're in the battle phase, I'm pretty sure. Jack Rory confirms, and we are going to have some attack points threatening the life points of Jack Rory here.
Oh wow, there is so much set up for Oliver. I mean, we're not seeing any frogs in the main deck, so I think then the standby phase Totally Awesome is not going to special summon something out, but
Oh, who knows?
yeah, true, honestly.
At this point, okay, we're attacking
a Duke
over
frog
next.
wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. And that's a lot of damage now against the life points of Jaguari. And I think we might even be getting Jaguari below 4,000, which would make our transaction rollback in the graveyard. Oh, it's 4,900, so transaction rollback still not absolutely amazing. We could just use it here to possibly getting enough. Oh, it's on for... Okay, we are below 4,000. We could go risky here, just use transaction rollback, try to get another fusion summon, and possibly just go for a game here in the battle phase, to be honest. Like, if we just hit another fusion name, go possibly into Dragostapelia, hit
And
something
send an
else.
Meniscus to summon itself.
Yeah, I could see it.
Garura would be cool as well for 3,000 damage.
So,
I don't
To be
know.
honest, I think the best play here is to play slow.
Yeah. And I think
He's
that's what he
already
does best.
ahead.
As well, Oliver is just sitting there with 4 sets, Tearlaments Scream on the field, totally awesome. Tearlaments Kaleido Heart, 2 more Tearlaments named that are not looking as threatening, but they have attack points, they have dealt the damage, and Jack Rory needs to find a way out of this quickly. He has the Book of Eclipse set, is going to start off the turn with that. His cards are level 4 monsters now in hand, so that is a way to play the game. Toad is forced out immediately. This might have been in main phase, so Talons is a card that might be live soon. He has an empty field. Lightning Storm would cause some heavy damage here.
that
Yeah,
is
but he
indeed
has
true.
Crime now.
Yeah,
So-
fair point.
We also just got another monster back into the hand through that Totally Awesome,
And
meaning we even have something to send for the crime. But it is Jack Rory now summoning out the Ryzeal sword. And Oliver, what's that now? Maybe a Salik. We added back Salik, so we may as well use it here. There we go.
Actually, I'm not too sure if you need to activate Salik here. Just grabbing Morellas is enough. Oh, we're sending Kaleido Heart immediately. Kaleido Heart is going to also send something. We're going to see another fusion summon. I don't think we need to cut off Jack Rory from more names. If it works, of course, it's the fastest way to end the game, but there are 3 more cards in hand that you probably don't know. Oh, Grief is being sent.
Tearlaments Grieve, indeed.
It doesn't that just add back the Meta Noise that was banished? That is
Let's see.
That is
He's
a
just-
heads-up play.
Yep, we do that indeed. Oliver knows all the things, knows all about.
Looking
I'm
into the
very
future.
interested whether Oliver already was playing Tearlaments like a couple of years back, whether it was like the best deck, or whether he just picked it up after its hype, basically now showing us that it's still so viable.
I want to play this now.
Yeah, it's
This
such
is
a fun
so
deck,
much fun,
honestly.
yeah.
It is such an amazing deck.
Jack Rory, look at this. Almost every zone on the field from Oliver is filled with threats. So many monsters, so many spell and trap cards, and so much disruption for Jack Rory. I mean, the thing is, a lot of good cards are already used now from Oliver. So if there is a way for Jack Rory to get into that game, I don't doubt that he will find it. Sending Eclipse Twins to the graveyard. Now Ext is being summoned to the field. Ext will activate.
And Oliver, oh, he still has the crime. Do we go after it with crime? Oh, we still have the Lost One as well. We know about that card. That was
Big.
set back, and Morella wants to have another word. Morella number 2 for Oliver here in game number 3.
Morella is such a good card in that deck as well. It's like Needlebug Nest, but more consistent, less explosive. So
Yep.
you're guaranteed to hit something, but honestly, looking at the deck that he's playing, Needlebug Nest also is guaranteed to hit something. Node is being summoned. one of the best extenders in the deck, is going to provide another body if it needs to. We're going to see an overlay for here. Are we going to see Excite Knight go for a last-ditch effort? There it is, Excite Knight. Is it going to resolve? The Kaleido Heart effect has been used already. Salik might not have any more targets in the deck, and the Tearlaments Crime is flipped face up from Oliver.